Hello, guys. This reading is going to be about identifying your core wound. It doesn't have to be the only core wound you have, but it's the one that you can actually work with at this time. So, right on top here, I have these cards that I got out of a magazine. They are mindful mantras brought to you by the Yoga Journal. And it looks like Jess Antonow, who is Bless the Messy, it looks like, on social media, did the illustrations for these. Here's the other one, Focus on Your Own Light. But today we're going to be choosing from these three. We have Don't Give Up Your Power, It's Okay to Rest, and Busyness is Not a Badge of Honor. So whichever card resonates with you, the pile is yours. And before that, I just want to read this card here that came out as an extra. Okay, it's from the Alice in the Wonderland deck. It says, keep your temper. Do not allow anger to rule you. So it doesn't mean to keep your temper, like stay mad. It means to keep it in check and make sure that you're not putting the anger into situations where you could be positive and chill. And I think this is also saying that your triggers are very important at this time. Okay, if something triggers you, recognize that you are being triggered and that's why you are experiencing this. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside here. And let's get into pile one. All right, pile one. So just based off this message here, it seems like the reason for your core wound was at some point in the past you were forced to give up your power. Maybe someone was unhappy with the way that you were acting or reacting or your unique perspective, and they caused a problem for you or put some kind of turmoil energy into your life that caused you to just submit and stop trying to fight back for your freedom, for what you believe in. It seems like that is a core wound that we will be addressing today. So I'm going to leave this up here to remind us of this message. And then we will continue with the Lenormand deck. The Lenormand deck is great at identifying situations, so hopefully this will help us zone in. So the tree, oh, there is a female cardinal in the bush in front of me, looking hard at me. And so the tree, that has to do with like slow moving energy, but like also deep roots, kind of ancestral family. Let's see what else we got here. And we have the dog. And the dog stands for friendship, loyalty, dependability, your peer group, like your friends, support, being humble, being loyal. Okay. So this could definitely be an example of the type of energy that you had as a child, or younger. The hearts here on this card, the Seven of Hearts, stands for unreliable affection, or heartbreak. And this Ten of Hearts stands for good fortune. So it's possible you had certain times in your life where you had this peer group at school that was there to support you and there to help you in ways that maybe you didn't get when you were in your family life. It seems like there was this heartbreak in your family or ancestral line. And I'm seeing this dog is like looking away from the tree, looking into the future. And he's not inside of his doggy home. And I see another building kind of far away there. And so I'm feeling like he is like looking out there and saying like, what more is there? It's possible that you've had to give up your power just to fit in, or you've stayed inside this wall because you're afraid to go outside of it. You're afraid of the I got the word prosecution or persecution that you would experience if you went outside of the norm here. So I definitely feel like this has something, this core wound has something to do with family and friends and people pleasing. So whatever people wanted, if you could do it, you would help them because you want to make people feel happy. Maybe you're afraid of what others think of you. Maybe when you were a child, you had a lot of difficulties expressing yourself. So, because all children just want to be of service and please others, it seems like maybe you were in this toxic environment that you weren't pleasing people for the right reasons. Most importantly, you must make sure yourself is good first before you can move on and help others. So let's see what else we have in this reading here. I also have the Seasons of the Witch Yule Oracle. My sister purchased these cards for me during Christmas, so I really appreciate that, Ashley. And also, she said that she has a couple more decks coming in the mail for me, so I am so thankful for that. I assume it's for my birthday, so I'm looking forward to having a couple new tools to use with you guys. Okay, we have the Wise Man and Merriment. So automatically I'm seeing here that this old man here, he stands for that, if you can imagine this, if you live like an old man lives in Alaska, he's by himself. He's really connected to the earth and the cycles of life, and he's really connected with his inner knowing. He follows his gut, because if he didn't, he might not survive, because that's his survival instinct here. It says, if it wasn't for the familiar songs that echo through my spine, I would have lost what is lost and never found my purpose. Okay? So it seems like this power that we're talking about here, okay? He lost his power, but he listened for the song that echoes through his spine, that is familiar to him, okay? And he is finding, or has found, his purpose once again. And I'm seeing this tree above here. He has this evergreen branches on his head, and it kind of melds in with this tree above here. I'm getting the message, that you are protected, that he's protected, and that protection comes from your intuition when you're actually listening to it. I'm getting the message right now to say that people will ask for your help because they're busy, or you usually say yes, so they're just hoping that you say yes again, or assuming you will say yes to help them. But there are situations where you do accept this responsibility to help people in need. But now might be the time to question, why am I helping this person? Is this actually helping me and them? Or is this actually hurting me? Okay, am I giving too much of my power away? And also, people can give us back energy too. But if you're in a relationship with a bunch of energy vampires, or people who suck all the energy out of you and leave you feeling drained, that's questionable circumstance to be in as well. You know, we each create our own energy from within us and then put it outside into the world. And if you're feeling drained all the time, it's possible that you're not getting any in return, and you might not know how to create this energy inside of you. This merriment here, this next card, I'm seeing people, friendship. There's a music note right there. There's some music that goes along with the merriment, I'm sure. They kind of look like singers a little bit, people speaking their truth, because you see their crown chakra is lit, their minds are open, and they have white clothing on. So I feel like it's their intentions are pure, okay? And I feel like this group of people has a mission. They want to see a certain type of change happen, and they're all on the same level. So this could be who you're hoping to find in the future. It definitely seems like each of these people have their own power, and they're putting it out there into the world together. It says, "What joy, what glee beams from the sounds of voices uplifting the webs of sorrow, glimmering as if no tomorrow." So I'm getting the message about being around people who are really negative. Maybe you are around people who just have a really negative outlook on life, and it's affecting you. It's causing you to feel down and out. But again, don't give up your power. You don't have to believe what these people think is the truth. You are free to believe your own perspective, your own reality of life. And when you agree with them, you are giving you're giving up your power. And also, when you are arguing with them, you are giving up your power. Don't forget, what was that first card that we had? I seem to have misplaced it. Here it is. Okay, keep your temper. Don't allow anger to rule you. Very important here. We are going and looking through this core wound, and all of this is about people pleasing. Okay, so developing relationships. Maybe you've had trouble developing relationships with people. It's ended in heartbreak for a lot of relationships. Maybe you were scared to speak your truth, so you just stopped talking to some people. Maybe they did the same to you. Maybe you were ghosted by someone and you don't know why. Look back and think about if they asked you for some things, or if they asked you or kept mentioning something to you and you kept dismissing it. Maybe they just gave up trying. And it could be you did the same thing to someone else. Maybe they were not following your boundaries or listening to your boundaries, so you just had to end the relationship because it wasn't going anywhere, or it wasn't going in the right direction. Okay, so this is that core wound. This is what the layers of it that we're talking about. And I'm seeing the dog again, and they're talking about learning to be loyal to yourself first, and then to your friends, and being around people here that have the same inner wisdom and the same self-respect for a pure mind and a pure body. Let's see what the Alice in the Wonderland cards have to say. Okay, find the lesson. Discover the purpose in a situation and trust that you are learning. So this is a huge part about, this is a huge part of putting yourself out there into the world, being seen as the person that you want to be seen as. And it seems like this core wound definitely needs to be healed before you can actually move on. And this is just a sense of realization here. So discover the purpose, okay? And everyone's is going to be different. So what's your reason behind healing this core wound that has to do with your power, okay? And I'm getting the message that there's all these people around here. Maybe the point is that you want to feel more comfortable in society. You want to be maybe not so much accepted by society, but you want to feel comfortable when you walk into a room, that you're not worried about what people are thinking about you, that you don't feel insecure when someone makes eye contact. If you make eye contact with someone, smile at them. Okay, that's the best advice I can give. If you make eye contact and then shy away and look away, okay, you look insecure. But if you look at someone and you smile at them, you're showing this power, this confidence that is extremely important in relationships. All right, and you're showing some version of self-sufficiency. All right, we have changed in the night. You have changed quickly, and whatever situations you've been working on, whatever goals you've been working on, would not be possible without this change of reality, this realization of giving up your power, of people pleasing. This core wound is going to be changed in the night, or you're already seeing how quickly that your energy has been changing. Maybe it has been going back and forth. One day you're confident, the next day you're insecure. One day you're confident, the next day you're insecure. And that's okay. You're overcoming these things each day as you go along. And finally, choices. Feeling blocked and restrained. Okay, this is definitely an out of power card. Okay, you have choices. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? The universe is saying, do all of it, because you never know which one is going to work. And you never know which lessons you're going to learn from each thing that you do. I see people riding a fish up here in the corner here. So you never know which one's going to happen, okay? I think in the States we say, yeah, when pigs fly, that'll happen. Okay, that's a really negative talk. That means that you don't think it's possible. But look, in this card, the fish is flying. It's definitely not in its normal environment, but it's doing a great job. It's making its way. Okay, so you gotta just keep on going. You got this. Okay, this core wound is a lack of self-belief, a feeling, a worry that you're gonna make a mistake, and just, feeling uncomfortable in situations that you're not used to being in. So let's see what else we have here. We got dreams. So this is the card for self-conscious, but not self-conscious, subconscious, and also what you're trying to create in your life. What new ripples are you trying to create? We have forgiveness, and finally, children. So these three cards together, I immediately get the feeling like you need to go back, like internally in your mind, you need to go back to this time where you felt this heartbreak is as your inner child, and you need to be with that inner child, okay? And say something along the lines of, these people don't know what they're doing to you because they don't have control themselves. It's time that we forgive them because they did not know any better, and they did what they could with what they had, or they refused to heal. But now you are choosing to heal. So you are choosing to heal this situation so that you can move forward with these other relationships in your life. I'm also getting the message to hug your inner child and be the parent in your memories. Okay, if you for example, your parents put you in timeout and you still remember that time, imagine you are an adult, or you are yourself now, and you go back and you put your arm around them and say, it's okay, you know, it's okay to speak your voice, it's okay to speak your truth. Even if your parents don't agree with you, you can still keep your truth in your heart. Okay, if you're being abused and you know that it's wrong of them to do that, you know it's wrong of them to do that. Don't give up your power to them. Okay, stand strong in your belief that you know what the truth is. Because often when we're children, we are the closest to our life purpose and our blueprint as we can be. But we're not taken seriously because we're still like just little children. But we know we need to go back and trust that this inner child did know. Maybe not specifically knew everything, but knew which direction our life should go in at this time. I'm also getting the feeling, yes, like this dream world here, you definitely need to take some time to go within here. I'm seeing the candles above on the head here. Go within and really look into your thought processes. I'm seeing the light around her head again in this one. It's going to be really important that you're focused on what thoughts are coming in and out of your head to really uncover this core wound that you're experiencing. And I definitely feel like if you are looking to physically remove this core wound from your life, the only way that you can do that is to go within, discover it. So I'm assuming that this is a situation in your life that happened over and over again. So maybe it was an adult or someone who took care of you that constantly belittled you or made you feel like you weren't smart enough. Okay, that's the core of the situation. You felt this instability in relationships very early on. It's possible that no one in your life has ever actually created a really strong relationship with you, has never actually dedicated their heart to your heart to form some kind of understanding, some unconditional love, this unconditional connection. Maybe it's time for you to start this unconditional connection with yourself, and then you can move on to your own children or the people from your past and your new friends that you're looking for. This new group that you're hoping is going to be wise with you. And I definitely feel like once you figure this out more, you will be more comfortable being around people. Okay, there is a level of understanding that there are acquaintances. Okay, let me start back farther. There are strangers, there are acquaintances, there are friends, there are best friends, and there's family. Okay, and you don't have to allow everyone into your life. You can label people with certain labels, and the family can always get your attention. Your best friends can get most of your attention too. And then your friends can get some of your attention, but those acquaintances and those strangers, you don't have to give them as much energy as you do the other people. And if certain acquaintances show you that they actually want to be your friend, you can move them up. If your best friends or your friends stop showing you any type of uh, help or admiration or loyalty, then you can move them down into the acquaintance section. It's up to you. This is your boundaries. You get to decide this power. Okay, just because you are blood does not mean that you need to give that person attention and energy if they're not reciprocating it somehow. All right, so love and light, pile number 1. I definitely feel like forgiveness is your top priority in this situation. And one more thing, don't get burnt out by how many choices you have. Just start doing things and seeing which ones work and following that. Following which friends actually put in the effort back. All right. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if this reading resonated with you, and check out pile 2 for another core wound that could be healed. Love and light. Hey, pile number 2, you got It's Okay to Rest. This is a great card. I was just thinking about how the third pile is busyness is not a badge of honor. So I think if you want to get more in depth after this reading, I would definitely check out pile number 3. It seems like it takes it to another perspective about your energy. And it seems like these core wounds for even the pile number 1 with don't give up your power, it seems like they all have to do with setting boundaries in life. So everyone has responsibilities. How can you organize them in your life so that the flow is more smooth and you're getting things done? And also allowing yourself time to rest. Okay, it is okay to rest because that is how we recharge, okay? Imagine you are a phone and you have been watching videos all day and the battery is going out. Now you got to put it on the charger, okay? If you are not taking this time to rest, you're going to be really, really exhausted. So let's get into this Lenormand deck here. This deck always gives us a specific reason. So let's see what this core wound is. We have the bouquet and we have the man. So the flowers here stand for happiness, a gift, beauty, artistic, pleasurable. And the woman up here stands for a woman of wit and intelligence, or a divorcee. So someone who's been divorced. And the heart, the man here stands for just a man, and or masculine energy here. And the heart, and this one stands for love and happiness. So this looks like to me that the core wound that you've had is possibly from a relationship that split ways. So this could be your parents split ways, or they have a really tumultuous relationship where they're constantly fighting. Maybe you had a difficult time with that as a child. Maybe you were the middle child, or you were the oldest child and had to be in between the parents and the kids kind of energy. I feel like this is something that you just really need to cry about. Maybe there was a lot of unfairness that went on here. And then it seems like this full cycle, the cycle is going to come to an end here and we'll start a new cycle. The man here is looking away from the bouquet and the woman is looking at the man. So I feel like there may have been a masculine entity in your life that had to walk away or chose to walk away. They got divorced. Maybe this man, it could be your father, he is not focusing on what he did wrong to get up to this point. It could be that because of this difficulty, you didn't understand how to have a healthy relationship with someone. So maybe even in your current life, you might be in a relationship with a guy, or with whatever relationship that you're in, you're not loyal, you're not dedicated, you're not willing to commit because either you don't know how, or you don't feel like this person is speaking your love language. Maybe you don't know what your love language is. I definitely feel like I need to do a reading about love language. I'm going to pause this just for a moment and write that down so I don't forget. Alright, so yeah, definitely going to do a reading on uncovering love languages here. I think that would help everybody out. I've talked about this in a couple of readings now. Alright, so it seems like this core wound that you have has to do with relationships, but on the level of committing to relationships in your life. I'm also getting the message that this is also a people-pleasing problem. This way of this unawareness of self that you're experiencing because of this breakup that happened where both parties were unaware. Oftentimes we're unaware of how our energy affects others. And so I think we're going to get more into this "it's okay to rest" card. It seems like the resting is going to bring you clarity. The resting is going to bring you clarity to this situation, and you'll see the truth. So let's get into the Seasons of the Witch Yule Oracle and see what this deck has to say for us. This deck is great at uncovering the shadow self, okay? The wreath talks about the cycle of life. What goes around comes around. And I definitely felt like if you rest, the cycle is going to end and restart. And I think that this is a confirmation of that. We have another bouquet here. And when I'm seeing a bouquet, my what's the word? My view of that is that each flower is a belief that we have, that we hold on to. It's this energy that we hold on to. And we get to choose what we want to put in our bouquet, just like we choose what beliefs we continue to believe. And I feel like this is a cycle of changing your belief systems, opening yourself up to new ways of being, new ways of seeing or dealing with situations. I'll read the card here. It says, "There in the cycle of life tends to breathe death. One is not without the other, eternally bound by the essence of spirit." So if there's a cycle of mistrust in relationships, that mistrust needs to end, and you need to speak with this person that you want to gain trust with and both be on the same page about learning how to trust each other. Because that's all that matters, is that that person can trust you and you can trust them. And obviously if that's not working out, move on. But it seems like that's what this reading is saying, is there's this mistrust, this displaced loyalty in a relationship that you're in, where it's like, can I actually trust that this is going to turn out for the highest good of all? So let's see what this card here, okay, remembering, yes, so going within. Oh, how thy glimpse glimmer in the darkest of sights, never forgotten, never still, yet pacing in the mind in the twilight of the night. So very strongly, I'm getting the message that whatever hard relationship you had in the past, maybe you watched your parents have a difficult relationship, your inner child is still remembering. It's time to call back that energy. Um, Go sit with that inner self, with that inner child, and comfort them in those situations that you're remembering, the things you can't let go of. It could be another relationship that you were in the past where you were betrayed a lot, and you're like, what do I do? How do I feel okay again? Okay, it's this new cycle. We're starting over. That person that you were with in the past, you couldn't trust them. Maybe you still can't trust them today, but not every person is the same. Okay, there are genuinely honest and loyal people out there, but you must be genuinely loyal and honest to meet those people, because of the energetic match. And, if you are looking for an honest and loyal person, but you are not yourself, then that relationship's not going to go well either. Okay, it's very important right now that you do take a rest, you go within, you do this inner work here. I kind of get like this is the Hermit card in a way, where you go within and you maybe recognize the tendencies. Maybe you have the tendencies of acting like your parents in a relationship and you don't realize that you're bringing it into the situation. And I'm getting the message to think about how what you would hear as a child, how they would talk to each other, and then consider if you're saying those same things or you have the same tone of voice. Maybe they're like really sarcastic and they'd say things to belittle each other, and it's just not okay anymore. You just don't want to do that anymore. It wasn't okay then, but now you are in control of relationships in your life, and it's not okay now. But it is okay and very important to rest and look within right now, because this core wound, it seems like it was something that you had to go through many times in your life. It was like this way of being, that the people around you acted like, but you felt like it wasn't the right way for you to live. So let's see what the Alice the Wonderland cards we have. Shine bright like a candle. You will make it through this. Okay, this is the card of creativity, believing in yourself, being unique. Oops. Okay, she looks kind of sad and disheartened, but all around her, this light is shining in the darkness. Okay, your inner child can be sad, but this is the time where you sit down next to her and you talk about how beautiful her painting looks, how much you recognize the time and effort she put into doing this. Be the parent for yourself. If you felt like you didn't have good enough upbringing, be that parent for yourself. Go back to your inner child and be with them. I think that's really important. This whole reading, we've been talking about that over and over again. Very important here. We have painting the roses red, covering up errors. Maybe as a child you were afraid of getting in trouble because you would experience some type of abuse. So either you would blame others, you would do things in secret, you hid your true desires and your true talents and your true wants and needs to be the way that your parents wanted you to be, or in a relationship you acted fake because you wanted this person to accept you. And wow, I've never noticed this before, but I'm just noticing it right now. The cat is hiding in the roses here. I've never seen that before, and he looks ferocious. Okay, so I'm definitely getting the message that this is like some shadow self, maybe some ego, dark side work. Your ego came out and was afraid of the continuous abuse or unacceptance that you experienced And now I'm seeing back here, I've never seen this before. I guess I never really looked at this card. But there's a maze back here. Okay, so it could be that you have been taking this life where you didn't know where to go. So you were following your ego, you were following this fear, and you have to keep trying to be someone you're not because you feel like maybe you will fit in. But it's a never-ending maze. Okay, the only way you're going to find the end of that maze is to rise above the material things, rise above what you look like on the outside, rise above how you were treated in the past, and decide what you want your future to look like. Decide that uh, it's more important, the relationships that you have that are loving and kind are more important than what people think about you. And what you think about yourself is very important, is more important than what others think of you. I'm seeing the white roses again, and the white roses are beautiful the way that they are. They stand for purity, being your true self, following your intuition. And she's almost in this, like, I feel like it's like a maid uniform. I know that she wears this type of dress in the movie and whatnot, but I just feel like you've been just replaying all the actions that you need to play out, and you're just tired of it. So I think the universe is saying it's okay um, to rest. And maybe you have some fear about being your true self with the cat, the Cheshire cat looking kind of creepy in the background with the white roses. Maybe you're afraid that if you don't color the roses red, that he's going to come out and get you. But the truth is that the thing that's going to come out and get you is just you are going to overcome these fears. You're going to put your ego in check and say, I appreciate that you try to help me. When things get scary, you're always there for me. Thank you, ego. But this is something that I need to do so I can get better. I need to open myself up to the world so I can heal. I want to become the person that I want to be, not this fearful person that I was trained to be. So now I'm going to ask the ego to step aside while I become a more authentic version of myself. And if I need you to step in again, I will ask you. But my higher self is in charge now. Let's see what this card here says. Okay, do not drink poison. Do not do things you know are bad for you. All right, very important here. There might be something like overindulging in food or substances. Maybe staying busy is your poison, never taking a break. And the universe is saying also that includes a mind break. If you are constantly um, watching something, your eyes are constantly taking in some information, your brain's constantly taking in information, that's not resting either. Um, it's very important that when you get off work and you want to just unwind, that doesn't mean put the TV on. That doesn't mean turn your phone on and watch videos. It doesn't mean get a huge snack and sit and eat it. It means sit on the couch or lay on your bed in silence and just be. Okay, just lay there like you're bored. If you want to call it that, just be bored for 5 minutes, be bored for 10 minutes. All right, and a cardinal, a male red cardinal, just jumped up in the bush when I said that. So take that as a confirmation from your ancestors that they just want you to be bored just for a couple minutes, because that is truly going to rest not only your body, but also your mind. And we can't make good and clear decisions if our mind is always busy. Now, our mind can always be busy with fearful thoughts, worries, and things like that. So that if you're constantly having worries and anxiety It means that you're not in control of your mind. It's extremely important to practice meditation if you have anxiety, because it will help you recognize these thoughts, and you can decide if it's something you can do about it right now or not. If it's something you can't do anything about right now, then we need to just put it aside. And when the time comes that we have to face it, we will know just what to do. All right, no use of worrying about something until the time comes that we can do something. If you are worried about it and you feel like you know what to do, but you're afraid of doing it, get past that fear, get past this ego that's telling you to be scared, and do it, because oftentimes our intuition is saying to do this, to do this, do this, and we ignore it, and then things don't turn out the way we want them to. So if you have an idea that you just need to do it, just do it. All right, now I have 3 more cards here. We have trust, soulmate, and study. So the soulmate card here, normally I get that this is about becoming true to yourself, becoming your own best friend. And I feel that with this remembering card here, going back in time and being with your inner child to comfort them. You can do that while you're doing this resting, while you're being bored. Think about giving your inner child a hug, visiting your inner child, saying, "What's up? Do you need anything from me? Are we all good?" Okay. But also I feel like the soulmate card is talking about you will find your true soulmate once you finish this healing. This core wound, it seems like this core wound is that you have a lack of trust, or you haven't seen a relationship in your life flourish. So you haven't had a good indicator or a good example of how to have a good relationship in your life. Okay, and the universe is saying to study. We have at our fingertips that if you have internet on your phone, you can do whatever. I mean, you can research whatever and find answers on it. You don't have to follow all the answers, to the T. But if something resonates with you, if you feel like I need to try that, then listen to your intuition here saying trust. Okay, and another thing, when I see this card, I see her standing on a firm foundation and looking up at this ball, like she can see her whole world and how she affects her world around her. And that's very important, kind of stepping outside. Like if some stranger walked up to you, be the stranger and walk up to yourself, and like, how would you feel? How would you view yourself? That kind of outside of the box thinking here. If your soulmate walked up to you right now, what would they think? How would you act? Would you be shy and not want to look at them and completely ruin the chances of getting to know this person? Okay. So, are you closed off? Are you opened? The universe is saying you need to rest and recuperate and do more looking within to discover a deeper understanding to this situation. It definitely seems like you're doing a good job. Seems like you have been, but they want you to, quit trying to paint the roses red, quit trying to be someone you're not. Quit trying to cover up this uncomfortableness with substance abuse or overindulgence, and just be unique yourself. Paint the life that you want to see. All right, you got this. All right, and I think I said this, but I'm going to say it one more time. The core wound that we are talking about inside of you, it has to do with relationships, and including the relationship with yourself and how you show up for yourself. And their big message today is it's very important that you rest not only your mind, but your body so that you can come back refreshed and better than before to help people in your life. So love and light pile 2. I hope that this reading resonated with you. If it did, please leave a heart in the comments. I truly appreciate all of the views that I've been getting. I started this channel, I restarted it again in November of 2020, and as of today when I'm recording this, I have gone up like 20 subscribers, so thank you so much. I truly appreciate that you guys are subscribing to my channel, and I really want to bring even more wonderful guidance into your lives. So again, love and light, pile number 2, thank you. All right, pile 3, you chose busyness is not a badge of honor. And I'm getting 2 things from this message. One, this busyness started because it was expected of you to complete your chores. I'm getting the message that maybe you were an only child, so you had to keep yourself busy. You had to find things to do by yourself because you didn't want to be bored. I'm getting the message that maybe there was a difficult situation with the family life, and you felt like it was better to just go off and do things by yourself so that you didn't have to deal with the other problems that were happening at home. Maybe you believe that the only way to make money is through hard work, which is not true. You don't have to work yourself to the bone to make money. If anything, this time of being home, working from home due to COVID, has shown us that you do not have to get up and drive 40 minutes to work in an office. Okay, you can just do it at home, and people will still do their work and not slack off. So again, this busyness is not a badge of honor. I think his name is Gary Vanderchuk. I have a book by him that I read, and in the book, he stated that he doesn't work on the weekends. Once he clocks out, he's out of work mode, and he's home spending time with his family until it's time to work again. So I'm getting that it's very important that you have your time that you work and you have your time that you dedicate to your family, and there is a boundary there that if someone calls you outside of work hours, either you tie up what you're doing with your family and move on, or you say, no, I cannot work, I'm having family time right now. You need to set those boundaries there. If you need to tell people, do not call me after hours, so be it. It can always wait until tomorrow. Now I'm getting the message that if you are in some kind of job where there's an emergency and you have no choice but to get up and go, for example, like a doctor, firefighter, mechanic, tow truck driver, things like that, there are exceptions for this, okay? But make sure that you do take the time that you get to be peaceful or to relax, that you actually take the most out of that time. You don't stay busy when you actually have time to relax. Our body really needs more time to recharge than just sleeping. Okay? I'm getting the message that this is a mental busyness that needs to get into check. So let's see here what the Lenormand deck has to say. We have the Moon and we have the Ring. So the Moon does have to do with work, with your vocation, which your vocation is your soul's mission, what your intuitive higher self feels like you need to accomplish in this lifetime. And the moon also stands for your recognition for what you do, which could be this badge of honor that you're looking for here. And the night dreams. The Eight of Hearts here stands for an unexpected visit or a gift. Okay, so maybe you're hoping that you're going to get recognized for your work and something is going to come to you if you stay busy and you put in all this work. All right, and the ring here stands for a union, a connection, a contract, commitment. It also stands for a cycle, so it could be this work cycle, this busyness cycle that you are going through. But this clubs here also stands for money gain. Okay, so I definitely feel like what you're experiencing here is this cycle of staying busy because you need to make money, and busy, need to make money, work money, work money, work money, work money, work money, work money. And that's not a bad thing. But do you feel like you have no worth and you have no value if you're not making money? If you're not busy going to work, do you feel like you did not accomplish anything that day? Because being at peace in your mind for 5 or 10 minutes is accomplishing something, because it does take effort to put away the thoughts and the it's not instincts that I'm trying to think of, it's the intruding thoughts that come in and want you to do something, want you to keep going. Yeah, so I feel like somewhere along the line, your worth, you've started to feel like your worth was connected to how much energy you put out there into the world. If you're not out there making money and helping people, then you're not doing what you need to get done. But I don't feel like that is helping you. I feel like that is where your core wound originates from. I also feel like this solitude energy here, like the moon is the solitary planetary body in the sky. We only have one of them. This ring here, it seems like it's the only ring in the picture, so very solitude. I remember when I was talking about this card in the very beginning of this reading, I was saying like maybe you had to be by yourself and keep yourself busy because maybe you were an only child. So there was never a time to rest, or there was never a time where you had to put your own stuff aside to focus on your baby sibling or something like that. When you're watching TV, when you're 5 years old, you're watching TV, you're watching your favorite show, and then your 3-year-old sister or whoever comes up and wants to watch a different show, and then mom is like, you got to let your sister watch some TV, you've been watching it forever, and then you have to give in and stop what you're doing and help and do what that other person wants. You have to take that pause. Okay, I feel like you never had to do that. I feel like you never had to take time out of your own day for your family. I feel like you just got to do whatever you wanted to do. And that's not a bad thing. But now that you're an adult, it could be hindering you in some way, like always being tired out. Because, when you're a kid and you just do whatever you want all day, you don't have to work like you do now as an adult to put money and food on your table. So it's even more important nowadays to get this rest and recuperation. We also don't have as much energy as we used to as children, for sure. And the universe is saying if you want to get back some more energy, then definitely eating fruits and vegetables incorporating like 50% fruits and vegetables into your diet every day is going to make a huge difference of your energy. And they're reminding me that the plants, they take in the energy from the sun, and then when we eat them, we get that energy from the sun. But when we eat heavily processed foods, that energy from the sun is processed out of it. And like, for example, when you're eating a piece of bread from the white bread loaf, that energy in that bread is dull and out, and there's not much. If you're eating whole grain bread made from the grains outside in your backyard and then you put it in the oven, it probably has a lot more energy to it than this bleached, processed paste that they bake. So yeah, that's just a little message there I felt like I needed to say. Okay, we have gratitude. So this card is about going back and thinking about what you have to be grateful for, being grateful for all of the time that you have had, the time that you have to spend with your family and friends, and be grateful that you do have this job to make money, and be grateful that you do have the body and the energy to get this this busyness here done. But also remember, take the time to think that you are worthy of love and affection and acceptance, whether or not you are constantly busy, whether or not you are constantly getting the chores done. You still are allowed to just be, and be grateful that, again, be grateful that you have the abilities to do this, that you're not confined, to a bed with paralysis, for example. I've even seen people that are paralyzed still doing things like making TikToks and stuff like that. So just because you have a lack of mobility doesn't mean that you can't still be going out and doing these things. But again, the universe is saying the important message in here is that you're too busy and you need to take a rest and find your worth outside of your work. All right, we have reindeer medicine here. It says, journey into the depths of your soul and awakening of sights revealed. It is time for no time at all, for all is presently here. And I don't think that we could have gotten a better card. This is literally saying, go within, experience new insights, because you have turned off your mind and been at peace. You've turned off those urges and you are just being in your body. Okay. It is time for no time at all, and all is presently here. Okay, so if you haven't experienced just being in a while, let me help you out real quick. It all has to do with, my bad. It all has to do with listening to your intuition, listening to the words in your head, listening to the sounds outside, feeling your feet on the ground, feeling the fabric of the chair you're sitting in or the clothes that you're wearing, tasting your saliva. What do you hear? What do you see? What colors are around you? Just really focusing in on what is happening right now and not getting lost in this web of thoughts that is going to take you to a future energy or a past energy. Okay, if you are depressed, you have this attachment to the past that you need to release by being in the present. And if you have anxiety, you have this fear of the future because you cannot control the future. But that really is just displaced energy, because what you can control is right now. Everything that you choose to do right now will affect future you. So you do have control. It's just in the little steps that you take day to day. Okay. I'm definitely seeing the moon here, and I'm getting, yet again, we have the moon in this card, but I'm getting like a big brain, like a big head. Like, you are so smart. Okay. You have an answer for everything. You notice things that other people don't notice. It's not for a lack of you having the capability or the capacity to get all this stuff done. This busyness is totally within your wheelhouse. You got this. But to have this, to have control over this personal power is like another level to the self-control. Maybe you need to ask yourself why you're doing this. Okay, I'm seeing this gold here on this word, and I'm seeing the gold in the ring, and she even has some on her heart. So I'm getting the question, like, is money your gold, or is love and family your gold? What's that gold? Okay, at the end of the day, if you were stripped of everything, okay, what's your jewel? What's that thing inside of you that still is there even when the physical world is no longer? Okay, I'm not sure what that is for everyone, but I'm getting that message here. Okay, messages for a rabbit, service to the animal world. And again, we have the reindeer here, so we got 2 animals so far in this reading. It could be a time for you to connect with pets. If you don't have a pet, go to the Humane Society and look at some pets. Go to the pet store and look at some animals. Go outside and look at the birds and the lizards and the squirrels, or whatever you end up having in your neighborhood. Okay, there could be even insects. Look at their mannerisms. Okay, this can be a way of staying busy, but putting your mind at this restful state. When you were a kid, you were, at least I was, excited about sitting in the grass and seeing what bugs would pop up. I remember they had, like, there was like a whole bunch of these little caterpillars everywhere, and I would just sit there and watch them climb over dirt and eat leaves, and I just be observant. And if you catch yourself judging an animal, maybe you're a little too judgmental. Okay, because that animal is just following their intuition and just living their day-to-day life. It could be a way for you to recognize something in your life. And I'm seeing the redness of the eyes and stuff. I feel like that's grounding. So ground yourself to experience this, getting rid of this busyness and getting this peacefulness. Seeing the animals and being with the animals in nature will help ground you. Another bunny rabbit. Okay, follow the white rabbit. Curiosity meets opportunity. So how many times did you see an animal doing something and then you had to run after it and follow it and see what it was up to? Okay, allow that time for that curiosity to be in your life. And also, never jam today. Okay, it's saying promises that never come to be, empty words, not living in the now. You may experience a lot of broken promises if you're constantly busy, you're constantly at work. Your family might feel like you have forgotten about them or abandoned them. And in your mind, you may be thinking, but I need to make money to support my family. I need to do this. I need to do this. But again, with this golden jewel here, You know, what's really important at the end of the day? Are you going to regret not spending time with your family, or are you going to regret not spending all your time making money? It's definitely a thought here. And I'm also getting the message that when you feel stressed out, depressed, or anxious, instead of turning to substances or food, they're saying to go out into nature and just be for a little while and just, watch the wind blowing the leaves, watch the cars driving by, the clouds in the sky, whatever um, you need to do to just get a little bit of rest. And um, yes, if you're smoking cigarettes, please stop making your outside relaxing time toxic with those chemicals. All right, let's see what the angels have to say here. We have new beginnings. Okay, this new version of yourself is going to be in alignment with who you really want to be. You're going to be a better version of yourself. Okay, romance. Maybe because you're always working all the time, your significant other doesn't feel attracted to you anymore because you're not giving them the romance that they're looking for, the love and affection on this level of being in the now. If they sit down and they want to talk to you about their day, but you're busy looking at your phone, that's not giving them your full attention. And I feel like that is a love language that we don't remember a lot of the time, focusing on the ones we love when they are asking for our attention and not focusing on the other stuff. And we also have signs, okay? Look for the signs. I feel like in this one, the signs is also the magic. But also, if someone is in your family, like if your wife or your husband, if you guys feel distant or closed off from each other, that is a sign that you need to put this busyness aside and just be. You know, if you don't know what to say, a hug speaks very loudly when it comes to love. A kiss on the forehead, a hand squeezing your shoulder, or the knee, or holding the hand. Maybe coming up behind someone and giving them a hug like how he is here. Planning a trip, planning something, or bringing a gift home. Okay, these little things. And now they're showing me the steps here. It's all steps to fixing the relationships in your life, or fixing this busyness that you feel like you can't get away from. Take time away from what you need to do in the future to focus on what can get done right now. So I feel like your core wound is you're wanting to feel validation and worried about if you're worthy of love and validation. Are you worthy of love if you are not bringing in the money, or if you're not completing the chores? Are you still worthy of love? The answer is a resounding yes. Okay, and I'm getting the message that if someone cannot see this within you, it might be time to move on. And I said in the last reading here, this bouquet, we had the bouquet from the Lenormand deck, but each flower is a belief that you hold on to about yourself and about life. So look at this bouquet again. Okay, if the belief is old and outdated, take the dying flower out of the bouquet and add a new one in. I'm also seeing or hearing that maybe you need to look into the meanings behind flowers. All right. So thank you, Pile 3, for listening to this reading. I really hope that it helped you identify this core wound or this next step that you need to take to move forward in your life. I hope that I kind of brought up a bunch of aspects about it so that you can work with these and, I guess I hope I kind of called out the ego in a way so that you can actually focus on healing. Again, listen to the signs. If you feel like when you're in a situation you need to act, do it. And listen to your intuition. You will always need to work to make money. Okay, even those who retire get bored and want to go do something. Even those who win the lottery get bored and want to go back to work. Okay, stop chasing the dollar bill. Stop chasing the money, and focus on the love that you have with the people around you. Love and light, Pile 3.